Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
As a single mother, my first job is care about Derek. Everything that I do is from him. When I moved to Philadelphia and this apartment, after 6 months, we need to connect with the world. I use the internet to keep him in a language because that's the way to get connected with my family tradition. He has to know where he comes from. We need internet essential. There's no excuses to not get connected.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I am your host, Marley Blackman, Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park, giving you the information that you need to know, you want to know, and you deserve to know. Obviously, this is an election year. We have a lot of things going on, and I would be remiss if I did not bring some of the candidates up to kind of share their stories, give you the information, let you talk to them one-on-one by calling into the studio and posing the questions that you really would like to know. So we're going to get down and dirty and talk to these candidates. We have, it has nothing to do with Highland Park, unfortunately. We're going to bring those candidates on probably next week. But we are going to be interviewing some candidates from the Detroit City Charter Commission. You just saw on Miss Theo's show, prior to my show, Miss Nicole Small. We're going to bring her back along with Miss Joanna Underwood and Mr. Denzel Anton. So please stay tuned in, stay locked in, and we'll be right back. And don't forget to call in.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
As a single mother, my first job is care about Derek. Everything that I do is from him. When I moved to Philadelphia and this apartment, after 6 months, we need to connect with the world. I use the internet to keep him in a language because that's the way to get connected with my family tradition. He has to know where he comes from. We need internet essential. There's no excuses to not get connected.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I'm your host, Marley Blackman, Marley B, that's me. And today I have a wonderful guest joining us. She is running for Detroit City Charter Commission. Miss Nicole Small is joining us today. We're going to really get deep with her and find out exactly what's going on with the Charter Commission, what that means for you, and what she plans to do if she wins, if she's elected, how she's going to change things. Welcome. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. So you were just on with Miss Theo, and I know that you guys talked about a few things, but we really want to uncover the real. of what's going on.
Many layers.
Many layers, and we're expecting some other guests.
Yes.
That's a part of your slate
Yes.
to come and join us. So when they come on, we'll bring them on, guys. But in the meantime, we're going to talk to Ms. Small about what Detroit City Charter Commission is, what you plan to do, and why is this position even available? Right?
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay.
All right. So I met Nicole a while ago. It's probably maybe it's been a year now. And you were in the political scene. You were doing a fundraiser. I forget for who it was.
Vow to Win.
Okay.
Voices of Women to Win.
Okay.
a
Yeah.
women's
Voices
pact.
of Women. And so when I met you, I was so impressed by that. I wanted you to be on the show. So this is your second time on my show.
Yes,
And we've become really good friends after that. And I just really admire her brain. I love smart people, and I think that you're just a smart, beautiful woman, and you're just doing wonderful things in the city of Detroit. But I never seen you to be in the forefront of things. You've always been behind the scenes.
Where I like to be. I feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
as
but so-
controlling and navigating.
So
my life.
now it's different.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
my name is actually on the ballot this time.
So what made you do that? Because you're a behind the scenes girl. You're a mover and shaker behind the scenes. You get people elected. You coach them. You consult with them. So who's going to do that for you?
I don't know.
Can you do that for yourself?
That takes a lot of prayer, right? So, to be honest with you, this happened in less than an hour.
Okay.
This decision.
Yeah.
And I found out on a Thursday. Actually, one of the people who called me is actually on the slate with me, and she'll be a guest, Joanna Underwood.
Okay.
And she's like, do you know that the charter is going to be open? I was like, well, I don't know. The county charter, the state charter. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Yes. And so, she says, no. The Detroit charter, they're opening it. I said, no. And so I made a few phone calls, and I confirmed that that was true.
Okay.
And I was upset.
Okay.
Let me say the least. And
Wait. Well, let's stop. Because I want to dissect this. Why were you upset?
Because we haven't had an opportunity, number one, to
Okay.
really utilize the charter because we're just coming from up under emergency management.
Okay.
But number two, if I don't know about it, that's a problem.
Okay.
And I feel
Because
that
you know about everything.
Yeah, especially the charter being open. But it was on, I think, page 71, to be honest.
Okay.
And I've read the charter a couple of times, but it's more issue specific. And so I said no. I said, you know what? They're going to take what little we have left, the residents of Detroit, the people who have been here to sustain the city.
Yeah.
And
Just wipe it out.
yeah, and I said I need to get to the
So
table.
do you think that was kind of hidden or not broadcast on purpose?
Intentionally.
Okay.
Yes, it was intentional.
Okay, and so someone pulled your coattail and said, hey, this is what's going on, and you didn't have time to find somebody else to take the position. You were like, I got to do this.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
All
yes.
right. Are you a spiritual type of person? Or
Absolutely,
Are you, okay, so
yeah.
was that something that, your spirit was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to make a change, and I'm the best person for this job?
Yes, and I want to be at the table. I want the majority of people at the table to be like-minded.
Okay.
To want to ensure that the interests of the people
Yeah.
is advocated for, and that, like I said, we have safeguards in this charter to
Yeah.
protect them.
Yeah.
And not just the interests of profiteers and this corporate welfare that we see taking over the city of Detroit.
Gotcha. All right, so go ahead, continue with your story. I don't know if you remember the place that I
Yeah.
interrupted, but I wanted to know where I stopped you is when you found out. You were like, I need to do this. So then you had an
Immediately
hour.
went to the clerk's office.
Uh-huh.
I went to the clerk's office and I filled out my paperwork and pulled petitions. I had until that Tuesday morning, and I had to submit at least 500 valid signatures. So I had almost 800 and something. I don't know, almost 900 signatures. So I did make the ballot. Only 15 of us at the time, and then one person challenged it. So now we have 16 on the ballot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my concern were, who are these people who pull a petition a week in advance? How did you know? The community, grassroots didn't know. Grassroots did not know. And I find that to be concerning. I have grave concerns about that. And the people who did know, the majority of them are either connected to these profiteers or city government in some way. And so why wouldn't you make it public and tell everyone? Do you realize this is the only election on the ballot this year that is for the city of Detroit, and we heard nothing.
Okay, so what is the typical protocol for something like this? Tell the people what could be expected for something like this. Like, how would people normally hear about this information?
So if it was an election year, in my opinion, for the local election, we would have heard about it because the people who are responsible for notifying the voters,
Yeah.
they would too be on the ballot, so they would ensure that their job is being done and they're educating the voters. So because this is an election year for local government, city of Detroit, it was as if, well, that's your responsibility to know. And we were
Really?
absolutely, absolutely.
Huh.
We didn't hear anything from the clerk's office, which that's where I think it should come from. It's their responsibility. We didn't hear anything from the mayor. We didn't hear anything from city council. Although I believe Council President Brenda Jones mentioned that she had said something one time at city council, but
Okay.
it didn't resonate with the people. I don't know what that looks like, but we didn't know. We
All right.
didn't know.
So,
And I vote every election.
all right, we know you do. We know you do. So now that you're in, you're on the ballot. You guys are getting ready to gear up and make the best person win on the election. If you win, what will be the first thing that you're going to do for the people?
Assess why everyone is at the table.
Okay.
And just be transparent and honest about it. One of the first things that I did after being certified to be on the ballot
Yeah.
is that I had to find some like-minded people who had the same interest as me and purpose at the table. So when I did that, that's when we talked about putting together a slate. So I think we should have the same approach and vetting process once we get to the table.
Yeah.
Find out, what it is that we want to do, ensure that at least we all are committed to educating the community on what the charter is.
Okay. And what is the charter?
So the charter is our city's constitution. It's what dictates and governs how local government will operate, their roles and responsibilities. Also, how the people access local government and what their rights are and the power that lies within the people and how to go about doing that. And so it's critical that we not only understand what the charter is, but that people come out and they engage in the process. There will be a lot of meetings. There should be a lot of meetings for this charter when you talk about a revision. But we need the people to come out and participate in that process so we can ensure that what they need to live a better quality of life is actually in the charter. It really isn't about just the mayor or city council. It's not about taking their power. It's about ensuring that the power lies with the people.
Got it. We have a caller. Let's see what they're talking about. Good morning, caller. You're live with Marley B. and Nicole Small. How can we help you?
Yes, I was calling to say hello to Nicole Small.
Hello.
And I'm glad you have her on your show.
Well, thank you.
Because she is the best person for that charter board.
Thank you, Miss Lori.
And, I've been canvassing all weekend with her flyer for the slate that they have, and everyone seems to be really energized about
Good.
those group of people that's on their slate.
Okay.
They were at Hood Research, some were at National Action Network this weekend. So the message is getting out. So when I go to my senior building this week, I will be passing out their slate too. So I just want to say congratulations to Nicole. She's a very hard worker. And I know when she gets on that charter commission that she will do the best job possible for the Detroiters.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much for your call. Yeah, so it seems like you have a lot of good supporters out there.
And I appreciate it.
Well, so you had what, 48 hours to get 800
It seemed
signatures?
like it, yeah.
How long was it?
So Thursday afternoon I received them, and I started maybe Thursday evening with a few people getting signatures, but I was very aggressive.
Like the
and
weekend, you
focused
just
Friday,
were like,
Saturday,
yeah.
and Sunday and Monday, yes.
Good job. That's
Yes.
awesome. That is so awesome. I'm shocked you didn't call me to help you.
It was
You
a
had to have
whirlwind.
everybody's boots on the ground with that one.
I did.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
did.
Absolutely.
And educating people at the same time. We're still getting, well, what is a charter? charter schools. They didn't know, which
Yeah.
is probably why we lost in August.
Yeah.
And it was voted to be reopened.
I can see that happening,
Yeah.
confusing it with charter
Oh,
schools.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's another proposal on the ballot. People don't really know what this is because they
Yeah.
haven't been informed.
Yeah.
And what we were informed at the Election Commission after being certified on the ballot is that from the clerk's office, it's the candidate's responsibility to educate and to inform the voters about the charter being on the ballot. Well, we weren't candidates at the time. We didn't become candidates until after the August primary when
Yeah.
they decided to open it.
Yeah.
So then whose responsibility is it? To notify the people.
Yeah.
This is so important.
Yeah.
This is so important. And it
Yeah.
should be important, especially to the clerk's office, in my opinion. I don't understand that logic.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen that documented anywhere.
Yeah.
Maybe it is, and I just overlooked it. But we need to take a look at that and change
So
that.
what is the worst thing that could happen if this thing just got swept under the rug and next year rolled around and you started seeing changes in Detroit and then the light bulb comes on for you because you totally missed it. Nobody contacted you about it, and you say, shoot, there was nobody in place for the Detroit Charter Commission. There was nobody in place for that. What could be the worst thing? Tell the people, like, why is this such a big deal? What could have been the worst thing that could have happened?
So we already see a lot of changes going on in the city of
Yes.
Detroit, and a lot of them exclude the voice of the actual people who have been here. And
So I got to break all this down. So we talk around the block and up the street. So when you say, we have a couple callers, and don't hang up, callers, you're watching, I'm going to get to you. You say a lot of changes that's going on in
so
the
you
city
have
of Detroit.
development, you have assets that are being sold at under market value.
Yes.
You have investors and developers getting tax credits, large tax credits to develop right in the heart of the city, and then the residents don't get a return on the investment. There's nothing in the charter that states specifically what that would look like.
So with you being involved, you're going to help add these elements to the charter.
Yes.
And create new laws for the city charter after listening to the people and protecting the best interests of the people.
Yes, that affect the process, how
Okay.
that happens, and guaranteeing that there's some accountability.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's take a couple of callers. Hello, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Nicole Small. How are you?
Good morning, Marley.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Lee.
This is who?
Lee.
Lee. Hi, Lee. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Listen, I just want to, Marley, Nicole got a lot of support, and I think she's best for the position. And she's real aggressive, very aggressive. So people need to, like, put her in that spot, okay? If something can be dissected, you
Yeah.
can do it, okay? A lot of her news here, I so passed out, and so maybe people are more aware of it. A lot of people are already aware of it. Okay? So I think she'd be great, and just thumbs up to you, Nicole. Keep it moving, okay?
Thank you so much. That means so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee,
Thank
for your
you.
call. I appreciate it. Just make sure you spread the word so everyone else can vote for her as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great day. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Nicole Small. How are you? Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Anna, and I represent the Detroit Retired Teachers
Yes, ma'am.
chapter and also the AFP Michigan.
Uh-huh.
And I am so happy to see this program today because I'm trying to get information for our members about the whole charter issue. And so far, I haven't been able to receive anything. So I was wondering, when we hang up at some point, could I give you my information because I want to receive your slate,
Okay.
the Small's official slate of candidates, as well as anything else that you could give me written. So when we have our meeting and we do our voter education seminar for the upcoming election, I want to be able to educate our people sufficiently. So
Would you like
that be possible?
Would you like me to give you my number?
Yes, I would.
Okay, it's 313
Yes.
451
Uh-huh.
2228.
451
22.
218.
No. 313
Mm.
451
Uh-huh.
2228.
Oh, okay. I have it.
Yeah, give me a call.
I sure will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and you too. Bye.
Can I address the whole? We're getting that a lot. The people's slate is that no one has heard anything about the charter, or they don't know anyone who's running on the charter. Let me just say this to you: because I did not support opening the charter, I voted no on proposal R. I even went so far to be a part of the recounting process. And what happened is we still lost by 170 something votes.
Okay.
And because we didn't get that support from mainstream media or the clerk's office to notify people that it would not only be on the primary, who would be running for office. We are really grassroots. We are not funded by large corporations or people with a lot of money. This slate that we put together, the printing and everything, the design, all came out of our own individual pockets. So I want to be clear, and we are the only team that's actually out engaged, knocking doors, lit droppings.
This is your
Yes,
slate?
this is the slate. Going to community meetings. I am more than willing to come out, and so will the other members of this slate. But we are the only ones really taking a grassroots effort approach to educating the community on the charter. Now, there's only 7 of us. This is a large city, a citywide election. So please be patient. Give me a call or give someone else a call. We're also on Facebook, the People's Slate, and each individual on here, you can contact them as well. We will come to you. Just let us know.
All right, wonderful. With that being said, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Nicole Small, and we'll have more information for you. And you can also call in with any questions that you may have. We're trying to educate you. We're here to educate you, giving you the information that you want to know, you need to know, and you deserve to know. Stay tuned and stay locked in, and we'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
As a single mother, my first job is care about Derek. Everything that I do is from him. When I moved to Philadelphia and this apartment, after 6 months, we need to connect with the world. I use the internet to keep him in a language because that's the way to get connected with my family tradition. He has to know where he comes from. We need internet essential. There's no excuses to not get connected.
I'm your host, Marley Blackman, Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park, giving you the information that you need to know, want to know, and deserve to know. Today, we're talking about the Detroit City Charter Commission. We're talking about the overall slate and all the information that you guys need to know. I know it has nothing to do with Highland Park, but, you know, sometimes when our sister city is going through some things and there's some changes going on in our sister city, it affects our city. So we want to make sure that we understand what's going on around us. So we have joining us today, Miss Nicole Small and Denzel McCampbell. Am I saying that right? Okay. All right. They tricked me. They tricked me because on the slate it has Anton and then McCampbell. So it's Denzel McCampbell, right?
Yes.
All right. So welcome to the show. We've been chit-chatting with Nicole Small about what is a charter, what effects it will have on the people. And we want to kind of get your take on that. So what you decided to join the slate.
Yes.
So I want to know why.
You know, I've been involved in community organizing, helping community groups ever since I graduated out of College of Michigan State.
Okay.
And
Go green.
Go green, go white. And with the folks who are on the slate with Nicole
Yes.
and other folks who are on the slate, we consistently see each other show up to community events, community meetings. We're out talking about issues that are
It matters to you.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it really matters to be a part of this group, a
Okay.
strong group of community folks, and to really put forth a vision that's inclusive for all Detroiters.
All right. So did you find out about this at the same time Nicole found out about this, and you only had a short window to get your signatures
Yes.
together and all of that?
Yes, it was the week before signatures were due, and,
Okay.
And folks were like, "Wait, the city charter is right." First of all, it's going to be on the ballot, right?
Okay.
To the question on whether we're going to open it, and then we also have to collect these signatures
Okay.
by next week. And I remember seeing Nicole at the city clerk's office. We all looking through our signatures to make sure everything was all right. But that was, again, that's a process that a lot of folks didn't know about. And for me, being on the slate is really conveying the message that Detroiters have to be a part of their city government, and also our city officials have to make sure that Detroiters are a part of it, and that we have the information that we need to be to be an educated electorate, to be an educated group of folks for the city.
How do you feel? This question is for the pair of you. How do you guys feel about the new Detroit? And when I say the new Detroit, I mean people just taking credit
Yes.
for things that is about the old Detroit. How about we say that?
That already existed.
That already
Yes,
existed. They
yes.
just rebranded it
Yes.
and putting their face on it and just a little bit of their spin, but they're reaping all of
profit
the
from it.
They're reaping all of the credit. And when I mean credit, I mean revenue.
Yes.
I mean publicity. And then this is the biggest thing. They don't live in Detroit. And so how do you guys feel about that?
I think a lot of them are opportunists. It seems that, the fabric and the culture of Detroit has, it's become something that's, instead of being woven into the fabric already, you could just come and cut a piece of that fabric and just make it your own. And it's so easy for others instead of, look at the businesses in Detroit. We have businesses that have been around for decades, yet and still they don't get access to the capital. They don't receive the opportunities and to be able to restore their business, revitalize their business, or to start a business. Some people have been working out of their home for quite some time, and they can't get that brick and mortar so easily. And it's not because they don't have money, because one thing that I have found, there were a lot of incentives given to these new businesses, recruiting them to come into the city. Just come. We will make sure that you have X, Y, and Z. That's not a myth. That's not my opinion. It's a fact. And they're making great money. And a lot of things that they want to bring into the city, they claim that they want the input from the people, but really they don't. Because when we say, no, this isn't going to work, or what we want to do is we want to make sure that the culture of this city and what people have worked so hard for is still a part of the revitalization.
Yes.
They don't get it, because they say, well, we come from here, or we saw something someplace else. There are a lot of people who are not just coming from the suburbs. They're coming from all over the
world.
Michigan.
Yeah, well, all over the world.
Yeah, and it's like we're an empty canvas, and they all could just paint their own picture.
That's right.
And paint right over us.
That's right. And a lot of people say that about Highland Park.
Yes.
That, Highland Park is a blank canvas, and you can pretty much paint your own picture. And that is true to a certain extent, but it's like the people and the residents of Highland Park, they are dieharders, just like Detroiters. And the benefit about Highland Park is that it's smaller. So they're not going to let you get away with too much because it's a smaller city.
And you can see a lot more of what's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So what's your take on that?
I agree with Nicole. And if you look at like we have heard from folks who are business owners, like you said, for decades, folks who are own their homes for decades. My parents have been here since the 70s. My mom moved here from Alabama in the 70s. My dad has been here all his life. And what we've seen is that these are folks who have kept Detroit up during all the times, right? Have kept those businesses,
held it down.
Yeah. And like Nicole is right. When we see people are going, oh, I got this mortgage on a house to buy this house, and then on the next block over, you have folks who have been here and said, I can't even refinance.
They're losing their homes.
And they're losing their homes.
Yeah.
And Detroit, in the state of Michigan, most folks own their homes and have access to mortgage. Once you get into Detroit, it's a direct inverse, and folks are being forced to rent, and folks are being foreclosed on unconstitutionally, but every outside of Detroit is like, oh, come on in, we're open, we're this blank slate, and folks are here like, no, we've been maintaining this. Where is it for us? And how can we get ahead? How can we move forward? And for me, that's why I'm running for city charter. And I know folks, Nicole and folks on the slate, also to make sure that we all can get ahead, and also that the Detroiters who have been here, who have been holding it down, who have been saying like, you know, this is my city, I'm gonna keep it going, that they actually have opportunity to get ahead.
That's really important. So that's sure when you get there, that's going to be the first thing you're going to look at and make sure happens, that you're protecting the city and the best interests of the city and the people.
Yes,
that's great.
And that's to say, like how I first met Denzel. We met with an organization, a social justice organization, People's Platform, and we were fighting to support Proposal A, the CBA. And what that would have done is that it would have had some teeth in it in the law to state that these developers, they must hire Detroiters. So many Detroiters from the community, especially from the immediate community where they're developing and surrounding areas. And that's what we want. Because at the end of the day, the reason why we have so much displacement, like there's a strategy, right? So when you think about how do you get rid of people who you think are problematic? And we're problematic because we don't support the aggressive changes that are taking place that exclude us. Now, this is where people get confused. They think that we don't believe in inclusion. No, we believe in people coming in here to live. We believe in new businesses. We believe in the revitalization of the city because we do need to sustain a certain tax base.
That's right.
But at the same time, I will never
support
us. That's right. I will never support inclusion at the expense of excluding my people.
Yes.
And that's what the problem is. And, you know, we supported that. And that's why some of the other people aren't on a slate with us, because they didn't support that. How is it that you don't think that we deserve to be a part of this process? Yes. We're sick of the glass wall, looking out and seeing everyone else benefiting. And then here it is, you know, we're getting water shutoffs. We're being displaced by all different types of ways. Now you have bike lanes, and I don't care what anybody says. The way that they're putting these bike lanes in is just to squeeze us out. Traffic is gridlocked. We don't like them. We can't drive. They're going to be a numerous number of tickets. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's the bike lanes are taking up the entire road.
Yes. But then they tell us they're in the suburbs. You tell me which suburb in Metro Detroit that you've seen bike lanes with these sticks coming out of the ground. No, they paint a little man on a bicycle in a narrow lane, and that's it. They do not obstruct traffic. It's very intrusive.
I agree.
I mean, I think if you were going to take the
that's a whole nother show, Nicole. Bike lanes is a whole nother show. We're going to talk more about it though today.
A symbol of what has been lacking in city government and for especially the administration that we have is this robust conversation with residents. I don't think you'll find a resident in Detroit to say that I don't want bike safety.
That's right.
But also, how does it look? How does it look so we can be comfortable with it, so we know how to use these, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is a symbol of like a lot of residents that are saying like we're not a part of these changes that are happening in Detroit.
But do you think that so things are always meant to be changed, right? Things are never meant to stay the same. Do you think that we're just not used to, and I'm only speaking in terms of the bike lanes, that it's new to us, so we're just not used to it? Like, where did and then the other part to this question is, where did they get this idea from? They had to have seen this somewhere else. It's not in New York. It's not in Chicago.
New York wouldn't allow it. Let's just be clear. they always have an outside entity that has done a study and seen where this is effective. Now, what we were told just recently in
And it's
East
probably
English
a
meeting,
smaller city.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were told that, well, we did a survey about, what changes and what issues residents in Detroit have. And, speeding. Speeding was one of them. Speeding is an issue. I'm not saying that it isn't. But you mean to tell me that was number one priority from Detroit residents is speeding? And
Okay.
so you had bike lanes and you said it slows down traffic. No kidding, because it's gridlock. If you go from 6 lanes to 2 lanes, I guess it would slow down traffic. No kidding. And it undermines our intelligence is the part that really ticks me off. And it's not that we don't want.
She's fired up now.
It's not that we don't want bike lanes, but I mean, who came up with this idea? And then in the middle, smack dab in the middle of the turn lane, they have like 6 in a circle, and then they have all of these other sticks going up and down both sides of the street. But see, you wouldn't do that.
Well,
in the suburbs.
hopefully they won't include roundabouts, which are in suburbs,
Oh, yes.
included with the bike lanes. Then we'll
Yes.
really be in trouble. We
Yes.
have a caller, guys. Hi, caller. You're live on the air with Marley B. and Nicole Small and Denzel McCampbell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was calling about the bike lanes.
Yes.
I'm not against it, but it's so chaotic. As an older person, when you're going down Cass or Second, you've got more room for the bike lanes than you do for the
Yes,
cars.
you do.
And it's very dangerous and chaotic. It's too close and kind of, and people around here are not used to being crowded in, and that's all we're doing.
Yeah.
You got more priority for the bikes than you do the cars.
Yes.
And they don't think about the older people who kind of drive and, so close to the bikes, so close to the cars, or on a two-way street. So,
All right. Well,
I
They don't think about the
don't
younger
really
people
care for
either.
them.
all right. Well, make sure you vote. I know you're registered to vote. Make sure you go out and vote and support the slate, okay?
Or make sure you all do something about the bike lanes.
Have a great day.
You too.
I think what the caller said and what we've been talking about, you're right. Change is gonna come.
Yeah.
And we're not adverse to change. And if it's something that makes things better, bring it on, right? But also, if it's something new and folks aren't understanding it, have programs, have events, have meetings, have something to
To
go out
educate the
folks, to
people
educate
so they're
folks
just
on-
not like,
Yeah.
bam, here you go, deal with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And being a part of the process, like, oh, this is what we're thinking. How do y'all feel about it?
So are you thinking that there was like not a community engagement meeting or several meetings to engage the community when they wanted to implement these things?
So this is what we were told. I know for even the Livernois area and some other areas is that this is temporary. It's a pilot. Listen, at the
Oh,
end of
really?
it, I don't want
Okay.
you to educate me anymore about how to drive on them. That's not what I want. I'm speaking for myself. What I want you to do is to take those sticks up out of the ground, and I want you to narrow the size of the bike lane like you do in the suburbs, because that's all we're ever told. They're doing this in the suburbs with the new parking meters. They're doing this in the suburbs. You don't put in your license plate in the suburbs. See, they think we don't travel outside the city of Detroit. You know what you put in? A space number. So let's be clear about that. So stop undermining our intelligence as if we don't travel outside the borders of the city of Detroit. Number 2, it's not a top priority in the city of Detroit. We have so many challenges. And if you took the time to really listen to Detroiters, you would understand. How about you take that grant money that you had and ensure that all city buildings are handicap accessible? Do that first.
Okay.
Do that first.
All right, so let's talk about the bike lanes one more time, because you're saying that they're wanting to slow down traffic, could be a possibility. Do you think that that's like a bigger picture of for insurance, like to get our insurance lowered?
No.
No.
But there's still the majority of accidents that you see on the news, and I don't know, you tell them your story, but the majority of them are in residential neighborhoods. Like you see cars flipping over, kids are being hit. So what are you going to do? Are you going to put a bike lane down in front of right down a residential street next? That's where a lot of the accidents happen as well. Nothing is being done about that.
All right.
So-
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you guys about, everything is popping and, all these new districts of Detroit. But we want to see what's going to be popping in the cities, outside of Detroit. I mean, outside of downtown Detroit proper. We want to see what's going on. We want to see how you guys can help us with that. Also, I want to talk about the new way of getting around. So maybe you park your car and get on a scooter or bike. Maybe that's the reason for the bike lanes.
I'm not going to comment. I'm going to let him take that one.
We will be right back with Ms. Nicole Small and Denzel McCampbell for Detroit City Charter Commission. Stay tuned in, stay locked in. We'll be right back.
Tune in every Monday morning at 10 for Get in the Know with host Marley B, providing the city of Highland Park news, information, and entertainment. Find out what's happening in Highland Park from the city's movers and shakers. Get in the Know with Marley B, Monday mornings at 10, right here on WHPR.
As a single mother, my first job is care about Derek. Everything that I do is from him. When I moved to Philadelphia and this apartment, after 6 months, we need to connect with the world. I use the internet to keep him in a language because that's the way to get connected with my family tradition. He has to know where he comes from. We need internet essential. There's no excuses to not get connected.
And welcome back to your very own TV show, Get in the Know. I'm your host, Marley Blackman. Marley B, that's me. I'm also your press secretary for the city of Highland Park, giving you the information you want to know, need to know, and definitely deserve to know. We have Ms. Nicole Small and Denzel McCampbell in with us this morning. We're having a great conversation for some, probably a little interesting for others. We're just talking about what's right, what's wrong, what's indifferent for the people, the people of Detroit, the people of Highland Park, the people just everywhere. We want to make sure that we're being serviced properly, right?
Yes.
And you're putting people in office, you're electing people in office to really have a voice for you. So it's really important to understand who you're voting for and making sure that they are going to have a voice for you, because when you look at the overall government from the White House on down, they're trying to strategically put people in place to push out your voice, to push out your choices. And you really have to pay attention to that and make sure that you're not pushed out. And whatever we have to hang on to, we need to hang on to that. So that's why these guys are here. And we want to make sure that you, if you don't live in the city of Detroit, you need any family members that you have, share the information about the Detroit City Charter Commission and about why it's important for them to vote, because they can make sure that things are happening for them. Because if you don't, it'll be too late, and then you'll be wondering, why is this happening and we didn't have a chance to say anything. Now is your chance to say something. All right, so guys, we were talking about so much stuff off the air, but we have a caller. Let's see what the caller is, the question the caller has. Good morning, caller. You're live in the air with Marley B, and Nicole Small and Denzel McCampbell. How can we help you this morning?
Good morning, Marley.
Good morning.
Calling in to say that Small and Denzel came to the community group and did a presentation with their colleagues. It was great. They are intelligent. They are involved. You get the idea that they are not coming all polished with someone sitting in there. When they finish talking with you, had an understanding of the whole was all about. I am encouraging any group to please call them, have them come out and talk to you so you get clarification and support them when it's time to vote.
Okay.
Support young people.
I'm hearing everything.
There were 10 of them, and they were all very knowledgeable.
Okay.
I want to thank them.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for your call. Have a great day. So it seems like the people are excited about you guys. That's good, right? To say the least,
We
that's good.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
We
I
really
mean,
do.
you definitely need that support because it's nothing like you guys believing in something and feeling passionate about it, but the people aren't supporting you because it's like good work goes after bad. Like they both have to work hand in hand.
And these are like a vast group of people. I want to say like from different backgrounds. A lot of them are
Age,
meeting us. Age
demographics, yeah.
demographics, different parts of the city. A lot of them are meeting us for the first time.
Yeah.
And they challenge us.
Yeah.
And we welcome the challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like you guys are all new and young and fresh and vibrant. They're like, who are these young people and where did they come from? So, so Denzel, we've kind of been holding the floor down, talking about so many things. I want the people. We had a chance to really talk to Nicole. She was on the show prior to mine this morning. So the people that continue to watch, they got a chance to kind of get a lot more information about her. We want to know a lot about you.
Okay.
So give us a little bit about your background and why this is important to you and what you're going to do if elected.
For sure. Well, again, my name is Denzel McCampbell.
Okay.
I was born and raised on the east side of Detroit near Persian High School.
Okay.
I currently live on the west side near Rouge Park. As I mentioned, I went to Michigan State, and that's where I really got involved in organizing and also activism. I was a part of the student government, one of the vice presidents there, and that was during the time where the administration was trying to crack down on student autonomy with a student government.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first places that I saw, there's a power dynamic here, and there are folks. You're supposed to be here on the behalf of all this student body.
Yeah.
40,000 people at Michigan State. So from there, I got involved in electoral politics. I helped the now mayor of Lansing, Andy Shore. I helped on his first state rep campaign as a field director. Graduated from college, did some work in Washington, D.C., came back to Detroit, and that's where I was campaign manager for now State Representative Stephanie Chang. And after that, did voting rights organizing across the state. Got involved started working for a group called Engage Michigan. That's where I got involved with Detroit People's Platform, We the People of Detroit, People's Water Board, and other social justice groups in the country. I mean, not in the country, in the city and across the state. Just working on issues to ensure that the voices of folks are impacted, right? The folks who are facing water shutoffs, the folks who are wanting a robust public transportation system to get around in their city, to get to work. The folks who are saying that, you know what, we want to reap the benefits from development that is happening in our neighborhood that our tax dollars are going to. So have been doing that since then, and now decided to run for city charter. One, because I would say I'm really a policy wonk. When I look at the chart, I'm like, wow, these are words that are really dictating how folks' lives are interacting with the city government, how folks are being able to live in the city. And also that these are government documents. These are the most important things that says how our system works with a mayor and a city council, how appointees work, how our city government works. And I wanted to run for for city charter to say that we need to have community voices at the table. We can't have folks who have other interests in development or have interest in making sure that the status quo with the administration that's not working for us is there. We need to ensure that we're having folks who are listening to community, who are being held accountable by community, who are being challenged by community, and welcome that, and to have a robust process in revising, making sure that the things that work stay in the charter. But if there's some things and new ideas that we want to have there and that community wants, that we actually get that put forth there.
That's awesome. Right. That's really good. That's really, really good. Now, the city charter, can people get a hold of it and read it? Like, how would do you have to go to the clerk's office to get a hold of it? And is there a cost? Is it online?
It's online.
Okay.
And for folks who are able to go to the city clerk, you can go request it, but it's online. The folks just search online the Detroit City Charter.
I would suggest that you read it. So when you guys are going through your process and you're educating people, just suggest that they read it.
Oh, yeah.
It would make them better equipped as well. Like once this new Board of Commissioners are elected, for when they start participating in the community meetings, that they can actually come to the table like with some asks. Please preserve this, or please, make provisions for this, change this. This is one part of it that we want to see change. I don't want it to be more of a lecture type of session. I would like it to be open dialogue, to get a better understanding of where people from different walks of life, like how they are truly impacted by different aspects of the charter.
That's amazing. All right, so we are at the last and final minute of the hour. And so with that time, I want to make sure that you guys let people know how to find you, where to find you, talk about the slate. I'm going to let Denzel go first. Yes. And if you can do that, go ahead.
Yep. For sure. So thank you for having me on. My name is Denzel McCampbell. I am running for the City Charter Commission along with the People's Slate. You can find the People's Slate and myself on Facebook. You can also give me a call, or you can send me an email at Denzel, the number 4, Detroit @gmail.com.
Can you spell Denzel for us?
DENZEL, then the number 4, Detroit, DETROIT @gmail.com.
Perfect. And your phone number?
My phone number is 313-400-0298.
313-400-0298 is for Mr. Denzel. And Nicole, how can we find you?
Nicole, the number 4, charter @gmail.com. My number is 313-451-2228. That's 313-451-2228.
You guys got to keep in mind, any elected official, anybody that goes out and, well, not anybody, these guys, they're doing it for the love, because there's not a big ticket price salary that's attached to it. Right now, they're putting in their own money to make this all happen, to get the message out. They're relying on relationships like my show and the show that was prior to mine, and this network, WHPR Studios, and radio stations, anything that they can do and any platform that they can use that will allow them to get the message out there to help you. So they're taking up their time, their effort, their resources, their energy to make sure that they can make a change for you. And so the only thing that we're asking from you is that you go out and vote and you spread the word about what they're trying to do and support what they're trying to do for you. It's just that simple. So with that information, we're so glad that you tuned in and you watched us Get in the Know show, your very own TV show for the City of Highland Park. We love you so very much. Until next week, we'll see you then.